Okay, this is a little summary and overview of backwards design, and it comes from the work of Wiggins and McTeague. This is a very common diagram. Sometimes it's written up like this, with your outcomes, your assessment, and your activities. And sometimes this is talked about in terms of constructive alignment. And I have a small video just next to this one which look at this. In other words, your outcomes and your activities and your assessment need to be aligned. The classic case is the Mr. Dance-A-Lot videos, whereas the outcomes and the assessment is you can dance, but your activities in class is listening to a lecture on dance. So your outcomes feed into what your assessment is going to consist of, and this then informs the classroom activities. And it's written up here in a different way. Here you have your outcomes. So first, identify the desired results, and they might be knowledge, skills, and attitudes. And underlying this whole thing here, there might be the graduate outcomes. And it's really good to look at these early on in this whole process. Next, you determine the acceptable evidence and build your assessment task around this. If the outcomes are to be able to serve a customer, then your assessment will demonstrate that. It will not be writing about serving the customer. So these outcomes and these assessments need to be aligned, and then you plan your learning experiences to feed back into enabling your students to get the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to pass the assessments and demonstrate their knowledge of the outcomes. So in your accompanying reading, there's a little more detail about this. The evidence in the assessment might be performance task, other evidence, and evaluative criteria that tell how well they have reached it. And your teaching and learning plan is absolutely critical in putting all this together. And basically, in terms of the online environment, your teaching and learning plan then converts into activity design. But your teaching and learning plan is built from your outcomes and your required evidence for the assessment.